Oh my god, she has makeup on. Oh my god, she got ready. Girl, I know. Hi, very different face here. But I'm coming in as I'm editing this video to talk about the event on February 21st that I'm hosting. So it's an event centered around intuition. It's gonna be more of like a community gathering, a circle, where I will be talking about the nervous system and intuition and how the two have an interplay, have a little relationship together. So if this is something that you are really curious about, if you don't even know what the heck is up with the nervous system, no worries, because I will be doing a little introductory deep dive into the nervous system. Yeah, so I am hosting connection calls right now for these next few weeks leading up to the event on the 21st. So if you are interested in joining the event, visit the link in the description below to book a connection call with me. And I would love to just get to know you a little bit more, get to know why you are interested in this event, and it gives you an opportunity to ask me some questions. This is just to make sure that this event is aligned for you as much as it is for me. So yeah, I would love to see you there. And again, check the link in the bio or in the description to book a call with me. I never do my makeup to get ready for these videos. I don't have a reason why. I just don't do it. But here's the thing I just realized literally this split second is that getting ready process before a video really helps you ground into, it's like that ritual, that routine, ground into getting ready for something, that preparation. And when I was a kid, I'd wake up 2 hours before school, before we had to leave for school to get ready. So that way I would look glam and slay and amazing. And, I don't do that much anymore. I really don't want to get out of bed and get ready an extra 2 hours to go work and get paid so I can pay for my rent. I want to get ready for myself. I want to get ready for whatever it is I want to do. But maybe there is a getting ready for myself and getting ready to work for the man. Let me show you the whole outfit. Also, it froze in Florida, and so I had to bring in a lot of plants. So my room is a little bit messy because of plants, but it's a beautiful mess because of plants. So anyway, here's my whole outfit, minus my shoes. I'm not putting my shoes back on. Ain't got laid in a month of Sundays. Called him once and he was sniffing my undies. Do you like it? This is a 2-piece set from Free People that I got off Depop. Girly, God, I love Depop. But I'm keeping this jacket on because it's honestly pretty cold inside, even though I'm sweating through it. But listen, a girl's gotta make it work. A girl's gotta make it work, okay? When it comes to following our intuition and stuff, there is a point where if we don't do what our intuition is asking us to do, we're basically clogging the pipes of our intuition. We are delaying all the flights on the tarmac. We are creating this debt that we have to pay off, right? And with this outfit today, I was brainstorming things that I can do for Instagram Reels. Okay, I'll do a get ready with me, because when I was a kid, I freaking was obsessed with get ready with me's and with makeup tutorials, and I was always watching, I forget their names now, but it was Bella 789 or something. I forget. Maybe one of you will know. But I was just obsessed with that, and so I was you know what? I'm gonna do something like that on a reel and just talk. And I did that, and this was the product of that, right? This was the outfit that I was getting ready with in the reel. And there was a part of me that was I don't know if I'm gonna do this, it's Monday. I'm making bone broth right now. I'm working on a few things for the side for my event on February 21st. But there's always that part of me that's like, I don't want to. I'm just not going to do it. And I was like, no, girl, like, you have this intuitive hunch to do it. Nothing might come out of it, but something might. And also, you have free will, right? You have the ability to do a get ready with me video on a Monday afternoon and then post it later. And you have this ability to say yes to something that you don't fully understand. So why not do it? It's literally not hurting anybody, and it's helping you. Like, it is still actually helping you in some way. So I was like, okay, freak it. I'm going to do it. The more that you act on your intuition, the more you're able to listen to your intuition. Because the less that you listen to your intuition, like I said earlier, the more clogged we get. We have what's called tolerations, right? We have all these things that we've tolerated not doing, but now we've become overwhelmed because there's so much that we have to do that we haven't done, and we got to start it moving. We got to start moving. It's the same thing with our bodies, right? Like, you have to move the body to keep it working optimally. Your fascia in your body depends on movement. This is like such a big theme that goes so far beyond the esoteric, the philosophical, intuitive capabilities, right? Like, this is a theme that shows up everywhere in life. And so that's why it's important to stay grounded when moving through these spiritual awakening journeys, when moving through our intuitive hunches and nudges, because it's important to discern, like, what is for us to decide right now, what is for us to decide later. Sometimes we're getting an intuitive hunch and it's for a decision that's going to be made down the line. And you might feel like, okay, well, I need to do this now. And maybe in some circumstance you do. But in another case, it's something that you just need to be keeping in mind. And then when the time is right, you will know. You will know. The more questions you ask of your intuition, the more answers you will receive. But it is important to ask really particular questions and be intentional about the questions that you ask. Because the more intentional that you are and specific that you are, the more clarity you will receive from your intuition. The other thing that happens when we get a backlog of intuitive hits that we haven't listened to is we create an environment where it's difficult to trust ourselves, because we have received all these different pieces of information or little bits of intuitive hits from ourselves so that we may act on them, because it's something for us or not for us. And the moment that we don't act on it, when it's time to act on it, is the moment we begin to slowly etch away at the trust we've built with ourselves. Or maybe we are reaffirming that we cannot trust ourselves. This is why I talk about the nervous system in relation to intuition, because it's rooted on this level of trust and safety, right? When you have cultivated safety within yourself to trust yourself because you know you have your best interest and you know you have your back, it's easier to listen to your intuition because you can trust it. You can trust what it's telling you, and you can trust that you can navigate the situation the best way that you know how. Like, you can navigate it better than what somebody else could tell you to do. And when we don't act on it, we're basically saying, like, okay, well, I can't trust myself to be able to take me to the other side of this, to be able to take me through this initiation and through this process and experience. I can't trust myself to do that. I don't think I'm capable. And so that's where it's important to be practicing making little decisions to follow your intuition. Like, this is a really good example, and something that I do to train myself to listen to and trust my intuition is I go back to like my most basic needs. So here's an example. You wake up in the morning and you have two options. You look at your phone, or you get up and start your day. And majority of us, what do? We look at our phones. But do you ever get like this hit, like this intuitive knowing of like, I need to get up. I just need to get up and get going, no matter how much you don't want to. That's your intuition. And that's an opportunity for you to exercise your intuitive powers and capabilities. And it is so simple, and it is something that is accessible to literally every single person. But that's something that I want to emphasize, is how simple this actually can be, right? And like, it's not some grandiose phenomena. It's not beyond any of us. It is ingrained within each of us. And I want to frame intuition as something super simple before we start getting really complex with it, because it can and does get complex. But when we frame things as really simple, it just makes it a little bit easier to access and not so intimidating. And it makes it so that the farther we get down the line in our relationship with our intuition, the more we'll be able to understand it. I kind of have to pee now. Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to follow my intuition, aka what my body's trying to tell me, and use the restroom. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Basically, when we start simple, we're able to tap into that sensation of what it feels like to be getting this like nudge to do something. Like, for example, maybe I just needed to take like a 3-minute break there just to kind of give my brain a little reset, right? Not everything that you hear from your intuition is meant to be some like life-changing thing. It's really like just the thing that allows you to deepen your relationship with yourself. And it's really like the surrender of letting go and letting God. But it's important to be able to sense what it feels like on a micro scale, so that way when the macro things come, we actually have the space to listen to and follow them, because we've already cleared and taken care of the micro intuitive hits, right? So like, I've already taken care of having to pee, because if I didn't, I would be all antsy right now, right? But because I took that time to just like release what my body had built up, I'm able to relax a little bit more in this scenario, in this setting. And so we start at the micro because now we've created enough space for larger, more grandiose hits to come through. And it's important to kind of have that discernment between my body is telling me that now is the time to act versus I am getting a hit about something, but I know that it's not yet time to act. And giving yourself that discernment of knowing when it's time and when it's not time to follow your intuition. Because a lot of times we get like these hunches like, okay, I need to do this thing, but we don't have all the answers, or we don't have like full clarity around why or how or what even. Here, I'll give an example. So last year I was in like an application process with this job, and it was a slow application process. Like, we were moving really slowly, and we kind of kept putting off like my start date. And I had like a training with them, and I went in for the training, and it was great, and it was something like so aligned with what I wanted to do. But the whole time I was like going through this interview and application process, I was like, I just don't know though. Like I just felt this hesitancy of like, I'm not sure if this is it currently right now for me. Like, I don't know if this is it. And I don't know if this is the person that I can get to here with, right? But I just kind of like let it sit. And I didn't want to take any aggressive action because I felt like if I were just like, okay, no, this isn't working out, I'm leaving, it wouldn't have ended as good for me. And so I just kind of sat on it and waited. But we had another training coming up. And a week before that training, the employer canceled it. And so immediately when I read the canceled training text, I was like, okay, it's time. Like, it's time to start thinking about what I'm gonna say. I now know that this is not for me. Like, I was no longer confused. I was just like, okay, this is the answer I was looking for. Anyway, so that's an example of like, for months, I had this intuitive hunch of like, I don't think this is it, but it's not yet time for me to decide that and really like stand on it. And then as I was waiting and as I was continuously asking questions and remaining curious, it became so clear to me, this isn't going to be it right now, and this isn't the time for this, and actually there's other things meant for you right now, and just hold off. Yeah, that's just kind of an example of sometimes we are receiving a message about something and it's just not yet time to make a decision on it. And that's okay too. And it is all just like this one big explorative journey of how do my feelings feel inside of me? Which is really kind of meta if you think about it. The biggest theme around instilling safety in our bodies to follow our intuition and around waiting for clarity is actually doing it, is actually practicing using your intuition, is not forcing it is the thing. You know, sometimes we think like practicing using our intuition is we're gonna have to sit down and do it and read our cards and channel through a candle or something, but it's actually so much simpler. You don't have to do anything. Like, there's nothing to do or achieve or accomplish. All that there is just a deepening within yourself, a deepened discernment, a deepened sense of safety, because the only way to feel safe following your intuition and doing these things that scares you is to do them. And so the simpler that we can make these things to do for you to follow your intuition, i.e., my body is telling me it's time to use the restroom, I'm gonna go do that now instead of hold it and try to people please. The only way to create this sense of safety is doing it. And that is such an answer that people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that, okay, well, I have to just like rip the Band-Aid off and do it. And it's not that you have to rip the Band-Aid off and be cruel to yourself and do this. It's like, you can absolutely be like, hey, I see that this is something that you're being guided to do. And I also see that there's a part of you that's being stubborn and doesn't want to do it because you're scared. And that makes sense. And it's okay to be scared, and we can do it scared. We can do it however you want to do it, however you want to show up. If it would make it easier for you to have on a beanie and sweatpants and a jacket to do this, let's do that. But if it would also be easier to be all glammed and cute and pretty, let's do that. Like, being able to meet yourself where you are, meet yourself scared and still do it anyway, meet yourself lonely and still do it anyway, meet yourself happy and still do it anyway. There's never gonna be a perfect framework, a perfect foundation to follow our intuition or to actually like build a life in tandem with that. It's always going to look a little bit rocky, but the thing is, like, the things that make it less rocky is your presence with it, is your ability to show up for yourself and for your intuition. And that's the name of the game with literally, it feels like everything. Like, anytime someone is struggling to like make a change in their life, the hardest part is literally showing up. The hardest part about doing a sport is showing up. The hardest part about working out is showing up. You're like, oh God, I don't want to. But then you get there and you're like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Now we're here and it's fine. The hardest part is showing up, and that includes for yourself. So here's an invitation to just cut yourself a little bit of slack. Give yourself some grace. Understand that it's okay to be afraid to follow these things that you don't have any idea what's to come after. It's okay to be afraid, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. In fact, it's more of an incentive to do it, because you wouldn't be afraid of something if it wasn't for you. You wouldn't be afraid of it if it wasn't meant for you, right? You wouldn't get imposter syndrome if it wasn't meant for you. Like, I personally don't have imposter syndrome about being a nurse. Like, I don't want to be a nurse. So I'm never going to feel like an imposter, because that's never been something I wanted to do. Do I admire them? Hell fucking yeah. Hell yeah, I do. But I don't want to be one. So I'm never going to be afraid that it's not meant for me, or that I'm going to be bad at it, because that's just not what I want. So again, here's just an invitation to just give yourself a little bit of grace. And thanks so much for watching this video. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you next time, and I hope you all just take care. Enjoy this last little bit of winter we've got going, and yeah, show up for my event. Please, I would love to see you there. Okay, bye. He's my baby, I'm his honey. I'm never gonna let him go. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, anywhere and or price, we're gonna spite our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big ol' hearts dancing in our eyes.